Y'all, can I tell you about these Tecovas boots? I don't know if y'all know this, but these boots are handmade, high quality, stylish, and comfortable right out of the box. I know we buy everything online these days, but boots are something you really should get fitted for. And it just so happens Tecovas is based right here in Austin. So come shop with me at the Tecovas store on South Congress or the Domain. That's TECOVAS.com. Don't go gently, y'all. Today on CityCast Austin, it's time for our Friday News Roundup. I'm here with our newsletter editor, Kelsey Bradshaw, and executive producer, Eva Ruth Moravec. We're going to talk about the Juneteenth shooting in Round Rock, the Summer Olympics, and what's going on with the Alamo Drafthouse. Thank you to Tecovas, our exclusive launch sponsor. It's Friday, June 21st. I'm Nikki Devon, and this is what Austin's talking about. Okay, I am here with Eva Ruth and Kelsey. Hey, y'all.
Hi.
Hi, Nikki.
Okay, so right off top, we mentioned it during our Tuesday show, but things were still unfolding. The Juneteenth shooting in Round Rock. So I want to break down what happened first, and then just bring you up to speed on what we know. So Juneteenth celebration was at Old Settlers Park in Round Rock. Evidently, two groups got into a fight and shots were fired. There were 2 people killed, and then 14 others were injured and taken to hospitals. The victims have been ID'd as Lindsay Vickner, 33 from Manor, and Ara Duke, 54 from Pflugerville. And we just found out the police were looking for someone, but the suspect has been arrested. And it is 17-year-old Ricky Thompson III. And he's going to be charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. But evidently, he's not the only one. They're looking for other people still. I know the governor's public safety office put out a $10,000 reward, and I think there was a $5,000 reward from each of the Williamson County Crime Stoppers and Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives. But so far, that's all we know. They have one suspect arrested, and they are looking for others. And we're going to have links to fundraisers for the Duke and Vickner families in the show notes for today's episode. But so far, that's all we know. I'm happy that someone is arrested. Mm-hmm. I'm sad that it's a 17-year-old. I was definitely in my feelings about this for sure, because we were out as a family the other day on Father's Day at Luby's, and we were talking about it because my sister had planned to go to that celebration, and then at the last minute was like, I don't want to go, because a couple of her friends went, and we were at the table in Luby's. Yes, we were at Luby's because my mom loves Luby's, but we're at Luby's, and we were talking about it at the table, and literally the table behind us, complete strangers that we didn't know, as they were getting up to leave, they stopped by the table and was like, y'all, it was so scary. It was so wild. They had been there. They were there. And they were like, we thought they were fireworks. And so at first we didn't move. And then everybody just started charging and running, and just they needed to process it so much that they stopped at a table of strangers and was just like, oh my God, it was chaos. It was crazy. It was so scary. So
it's literally what Austin was talking about and still is. That was on Saturday. Y'all were talking about it on Sunday. Obviously, we've found out more information. I mean, I don't know if y'all saw the video. One of the victims' husbands was interviewed. Oh my God, just heartbreaking. The loss of these 2 individuals to their families and to the communities of Manor and Pflugerville. It is just so tragic and seems so pointless, when you see that a young person was involved, why? What was the point, of these 2 groups being in a fight? What were they fighting about? Was it worth causing so much chaos and terror at this event that was, family friendly and celebratory and prideful?
Well, we just got Juneteenth as a national holiday like, 3 years ago? And it's just...
I have so many feelings about it. I've been processing with other Black people. The thing is that, and just like we were just talking about in our Juneteenth episode, it's hard because a lot of our Black community is moving from Austin to Round Rock because they can't afford to live in Austin anymore. So they're trying to like set up community in Round Rock, which is a big deal because for a really long time, Black people did not feel safe to be in Williamson County. We did not feel safe to go there. I feel certain that a lot of us feel that way. So it's sad that something like this happened on of all times, Juneteenth.
Yeah, right. I don't have anything smart to say about this. It's just so sad.
It's really sad. Unfortunately, it puts a mark on something in our community that's really special that is now, it just has this mark on it. And whatever moment happened, whatever thing that they got into it about now, for sure, 14 people, plus 2 people gone, plus 17-year-old, everybody's lives are affected now for a moment that was probably just like some weird, I don't know, I don't want to speculate, stupid. But you're right, but it's like, it couldn't have been worth it.
When you're 17, that's the thing is your brain is so undeveloped at that point to even be able to deal with the emotions that you're having.
That person's life is over.
To your point, like, Nikki, those moments are never forgotten. Juneteenth is going to mean something different now. And that sucks that whoever was involved got that power to take that away.
Exactly. And there's a lot of people that's like, that's it for them. Oh, yeah, no, I'm not going back to that. They were shooting last time. I'm not going. That's it.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I keep thinking about what you just said, which is like, the Black community was pushed out of Austin, pushed out of like the east side of Austin. They go to a place where they didn't, where a lot of people don't feel safe. And then they finally have to go there because they got pushed out. And then this is what happens. And it's just...
Yeah. Layers on layers on layers on layers on layers. My heart goes out to the Duke family and the Vicknair family. And also the 14 people that were just trying to celebrate and got hurt and had to go to the hospital. And then everybody, my heart just goes out to everybody. The entire thing was just really terrible. And I'm just thinking about my community and thinking about everybody that was there. It sucks and I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that we were able to update y'all on, what we know. Before we dive into any more news, let's take a quick break. And we are back. I am here with Kelsey and Eva Ruth, and we are talking about this week's news. It is Olympics time, Summer Olympics. Yes. Now, first of all, I love the Olympics, especially if anybody Black is involved. But it always sneaks up on me, and I always get my years mixed up, and I can never tell which year it's coming and which year it's not coming. Do y'all watch? Do y'all not watch? How do y'all feel about it?
First of all, I feel the same way you do. I feel like I'm always like, oh, it's Olympics. I'm very excited. I get very into America when the Olympics happen, as I'm sure, everyone else does. But that's like the number one time of year that I am patriotic. Is when the Olympics comes around. I love gymnastics. I love swimming. I love the Summer Olympics.
And what about you, Eva, before I start talking?
I love the track and field. I can watch those fast, amazing runners all freaking day long. That's my jam. And I love the power and the women. Like, these women runners just bring everything out, and you can just tell they leave everything they possibly can out there. And it's so impressive.
Well, and like, I think I love good sports journalism and like good sports stories. I think maybe more than I love sports.
I'm the same way for me, sports is like I get caught up in the groupness of it. I'm like, we're cheering. I love to cheer. I don't even have to have a reason really to just be like, yes, and we're clapping. Like, I don't know what's going on, but I get really caught up. One of my favorite things about football at UT was anywhere you went where they were playing the game, anytime that there was a touchdown, everybody clapped together and like slammed on the table and like there's all this choreographed cheering. I love it so much. Well, I love it so much.
How are you taking that energy into the Olympic season? Because there's always lots of Longhorns in the Olympics.
I feel bad because I don't know enough, so I feel like just every time I see a Black person, I'm going to cheer. And then I'm going to look them up later.
I think UT has some swimmers. going, a rower.
Tell me about it. Tell me about it.
We have Aaron Shackle, a Longhorn swimmer, 19 years old, and Carson Foster, 22 years old. And then Kate Nifton, she's a rower.
I really liked her story. It was on KXAN, and it was a whole, she comes from, I guess, a family of rowers, and they own the Texas Rowing Center. And apparently her grandfather, was an Olympic rower hopeful, and her dad was also, and neither of them quite made it, but Kate's on her way. So yeah,
Kate.
Yeah, I know. It's a very exciting time for her and her family, and also the other Longhorns. And apparently we've got a little bit of a tradition of Longhorns in the Olympics. As KView reported, there were 28 past and present Longhorns who won medals in the 2021 Tokyo Olympics.
Nice.
Yeah, and over the 100 years of Olympic history, UT competitors have earned 153 Hook'em horns.
Wow.
That's so
Very
fun.
exciting.
Wow.
I also need y'all to know, for some reason, so Katie Ledecky, she's our best swimmer. She's a beast. For some reason in my brain, she went to UT and she did not.
I also have that misconception for some reason. Was she in Austin at some point, just visiting, and we were all like, you are ours now? How did that happen?
We do that, though.
We do that.
Tend to do that. We do that.
Can we also
"You're ours."
have Simone Biles? Because,
I'll take her.
I would like her to be a Longhorn as well.
Yeah.
She is one of those people that on site, the minute I meet her, I have a whole speech prepared for Simone. Yes.
But really, honestly, one of my favorite parts of the Olympics is watching Les Dog react.
Oh, yes.
She's the best fan of USA Olympics, and she's so much fun, and I highly recommend.
Eva's talking about Leslie Jones from SNL.
Oh, thank you. Yes, she's just Les Dog to me because we're buddies.
I mean, you guys are BFFs, obviously.
Obviously.
Leslie Jones, I'm going to state the obvious, is one of the funniest people in the entire planet.
Absolutely.
Just consistently. How can someone be so funny on their couch at home and on Zoom? It's
watching
national
sports.
treasure.
And she makes the Olympics even more fun.
So y'all, evidently, there's a new series on NBC Sports. It's called Breaking Baguettes. That's very cute, actually, by the way. And it features Olympic athletes. Top Chef finalist Kevin DeAndrea hosts the series from an Austin kitchen, and he teaches the athletes how to make French food. And on one episode, it features 2020 Tokyo Olympians and UT divers Allison Gibson and Haley Hernandez. And he tries to teach them how to make tartlets. And I think that Gibson and Hernandez compete Thursday in trials and could also go to the Olympics this year. So,
So they'll know how to make tartlets when they're at the Olympics.
Yes.
I mean, listen, you're an Olympian and you can cook. Yes, thank you.
You got a carbo load.
That's right. And then you can go to Paris and try everybody else's tartlets and compare.
I also like the idea of just it seems like such a sweet, simple, fun thing to do. You know what I mean? You work so hard. I bet you're always training. It's let's take a time out. Let me teach you how to make something tasty and delicious. I love that.
Yeah. And I think it's a chance also to get to know, we watch them at this really high pressure moment in their lives, when it's they could not be doing anything more important at that time. But they're also just normal people,
Yeah, seeing them a little more relaxed.
Yes. I used to date someone who was against the Olympics, for that reason. They were just it just feels like they're workhorsing people, and it makes me really sad. And I'm I get that. So this is a nice little oh no, here's a reminder. These are regular, everyday people that have dedicated their entire lives to do these things.
Yeah.
Simone Biles is not regular, though. Superhuman feat.
She is superhuman.
Yeah.
She's superhuman. And I saw her from afar one time, and she is the tiniest human I've ever seen. She's just, and not just petite, pocket size.
The physics doesn't make sense how she gets up into the air as high as she does.
Yeah. Self-propelled most times. It's insanity. So yeah, Olympics. Love them.
Can't wait.
Okay. Next up. Now, I have been hearing a lot about this, and I'm really curious to hear what you guys think about it. Sony Pictures has acquired Alamo Drafthouse Cinema for $200 million. 35 locations nationwide. Right off top, how are y'all feeling about it?
I think maybe a little apprehensive just because it's a major corporation coming and buying our little baby Alamo Drafthouse, even though it's not, it is pretty huge now. But a homegrown Austin institution, that means a lot to people. I know Alamo Drafthouse has been having issues in recent years, financial issues.
Like 2021, they filed for bankruptcy and sold some of their theaters. In 2022, they sold the beloved Ritz Theater on 6th Street to Joe Rogan, of all people.
Former Fear Factor host.
Former Fear Factor host that has now become Comedy Mothership. Yeah, I'm shooketh. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little. Alamo Drafthouse feels like an institution here, an Austin institution, and it feels like ours. In this very we did this. This started here first kind of way.
Well, and it's it is an Austin weird thing.
Yes,
it still feels very rooted and. Everybody's like the old Austin, blah, blah, blah. It still feels whatever that's supposed to be.
Yeah. It kind of to me it's almost like another Congress Avenue store, that once was this very local, unique thing and is now becoming something national, big box, less meaningful to us here. And I hope that doesn't happen and that, Alamo is still able to maintain a lot of their uniqueness and their quirkiness. I mean, I know I've gone to so many weird things at the Drafthouse. They're just always experimenting with different food pairings or showing a random, series just because somebody gets a whim, in the Ritz, I definitely miss the off the beaten path kind of stuff that they would show. I hope that they will hold on to what makes it special. We'll see.
My favorite, still to this day, some of my favorite memories, period, with my friends, and my favorite thing about the Drafthouse were their sing-alongs, where they, I mean, it's a brilliant idea. They pick Beyonce sing-along, and then they just play an hour and a half of Beyonce videos. They give you all this fun swag, right? And then they put the words on the screen, and it's a theater full of people being Beyonce.
That's awesome.
It is one of my, to this day, some of my friend and I went to a Kanye West sing-along, and that night still is imprinted in my brain as one of my favorite nights of all time. They gave us these glow stick glasses. It was wild and weird. I saw my first burlesque show at Alamo Drafthouse. Y'all have any memories like that? Just core kind of memories?
I don't have it. I didn't do anything fun at Alamo. I just saw movies. You guys have really cool, you actually went to Alamo events. I just saw Mamma Mia 2, Here We Go Again 4 times in an Alamo Drafthouse.
Nice.
Best movie of all time.
That's
truly.
awesome. That's
would
awesome.
slide out of my seat every time. But no, I'm very appreciative of what they're doing. No one's doing it like them. Terror Tuesday, Weird Wednesday. This month during Pride Month, they're showing But I'm a Cheerleader and The Birdcage and with brunches to match. And I think that's really, really cool and really special. And
and the Bring Your Crying Baby Day. I always thought that was nice that they just make room for mothers to see a movie too and just go with it.
Well, and it's just what they're doing is so important right now in the conversation about getting people back into the theater. If a movie is not, doesn't make $1 billion on the first day, it's not successful anymore kind of conversation that's happening. And Alamo makes going to the movie theater an event. Of course, not for me. I haven't gone to any events. I've just gone to the movies.
Try one. They're a blast.
But Eva, tell us about your memes.
My memes involve when they would make fun of Mystery Science Theater. Anyway, it's just silly. And of course, the commercials too. I always really like their
Don't talk on your
shut up.
phone.
But yeah, don't talk on your phone, and like calling people out, like playing voicemails of people who have gotten kicked out. Those are hilarious.
So good. So good.
Yeah. And yeah, there was an adult film that I saw in 3D at a Drafthouse in a crowded theater. It was a memorable experience, to say the least.
There was such a integral part of just like, not to sound cliche, but keeping Austin weird.
Yes.
And they're going to continue operations and everything, but it sounds like the offerings for films and events may change in the coming months. And it could be more exclusive movies and events, but they are closing all of the ones in Dallas. Womp womp.
Yeah.
And Sony hasn't revealed their plans. But people are saying that they might use the theaters to like exclusively push their own content. Because they don't have their own streaming services or whatever, which would kind of suck. But I don't know. Would any of you boycott it now that it's with Sony?
TBD.
Let's see what they're doing. If this is something where they buy it and let it do its thing,
right,
that's amazing.
Yeah.
But if they get their little fingers in there and mess it up, maybe I'll boycott it.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know, guys. I have a lot of power. We'll see what I can create.
And I think what they do will decide whether or not it's still a local company. So
absolutely.
Now, okay, one more thing before we go. If y'all haven't heard, Austin Police Department is trying to find a new chief. And they've been accepting applications for a while, and they have a list now of like 32 candidates. And we're digging into the list, or at least a few of the candidates who have a chance, and we are going to bring you more on that very, very soon. Thank you guys for rounding up the news week with me. Bye, Kelsey. Bye, Ruth.
Bye, Nikki. See you next time.
Bye. That's all for today here on CityCast Austin. Our executive producer is Eva Ruth Moravec. Our producer is Alyssa Rosenthaler. And I'm your host, Nikki Devon. Our Hey Austin newsletter editor is Kelsey Bradshaw. Music is by Nelson Valente Aguilar of Como Las Movies. If you enjoyed the show, why not tell a friend, rate the show, leave us a review, and subscribe to our Hey Austin newsletter. We'll be back Monday morning with more news from around the city. Bye, y'all.